seeing those building clouds in the North Metro. Chase, what do you think? Chase Thomason's going to join us here momentarily. There we go.
Hey, Mike.
There you go. Hey, Chase.
Yeah, Mike, you know, one thing that you've been talking about, the surface winds. We've been out here and we've just been been tracking these storms, and the surface winds overall haven't been that bad, around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Occasionally we'll get that gust. So for tornadoes, we kind of need that low-level shear near the surface, and we just haven't been seeing that. Right now here around the metro, though, we're under mostly sunny skies. I'm going to have my photojournalist zoom out towards my northeast, towards Guthrie, and you can see these towering clouds. These are severe thunderstorms out towards my north, producing some hail, some gusty winds. It's definitely sunny. It's muggy here in central Oklahoma, so the dry line hasn't pushed through, so we could still see additional development along the dry line, but these storms are now pushing north and northeast of the metro, because I'm in North Edmond at this hour. The surface winds, like I mentioned, relatively light, around 10 to 15 miles per hour, but we expect the winds probably to pick up later on this afternoon, maybe later on this evening as the low-level jet kicks in. Mike, I'll send it back to you.
Is it CT Picks maybe? Chase, appreciate that very much. So, you know, that's kind of the bottom line right now. And again, I would imagine, let's go to the overview here with the watches and warnings. This tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire right here. This is all so far really good. All we've had today has been a hopscotch tornado. There has been a little bit of damage. I'd guess it's about an F1 up here. Reed was talking about it. John was talking about it. Mike Bennett, Emily Sutton. This was over here on the east side of Perkins, over toward Ripley, and then it kind of lifted hopscotch. Go ahead and go back to the storm scanner control room. Go ahead and go to the storm scanner if you want. Kind of hopscotched up to the north side of Cushing. And that tornado is still possible up in northern Creek County. That's now out of our viewing area. It's very close to Oilton right now, moving out of our viewing area, passing Oilton. Behind that, there's some severe storms, some hailers back to the west near Stillwater, hail, very heavy rain, maybe some damaging winds, intense lightning with that. That's the threat from Stillwater eastbound until you get to Oilton, where there's still a possible tornado. This one north of Guthrie hadn't done a whole lot. It's weakened. Here's the dry line, clearly visible right there, that green line. Storms are still firing on that dry line down southwest. These are hailers down here, big hail around Rush Springs right now, up to around Ninnekah, golf ball and larger size hail. And we have this one down here, which is still a supercell, and it's pretty well organized as well, south of Norman and near and northwest of Purcell. But right now, the rotation on that has gone down to almost nothing. It's kind of flat. We've got Mark Dillard on it. Severe Cleveland McLean. So they have allowed the tornado warning to expire for Cleveland and McLean. Let's go down to Mark Dillard and talk about that. Mark, what do you got?
Yes, Mike, still continuing with the base of the cloud is basically, the wall is basically eroded into nothing here. Looking back to my north and east, we're heading into Purcell right now. But folks in Purcell, I mean, truly stay vigilant with this. It could start to ramp back up at any time, but right now, Mike, as you've been saying, it's really come down from what it was, and the tornado warning's been able to expire. But the circulation and the inflow to this thing is just not what it was earlier, Mike. That's the bottom line. It may get into a better environment in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then again, it may not. So we're going to stay right here. I'm going to run into Purcell, keep an eye on it along I-35. But for right now, Mike, nothing imminent. Back to you.
Mark, appreciate that very much. Here's the storm tracker. Still a supercell, still has a hook, but I tell you, down low, there's just nothing there. And the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. There's now a severe, you'll see the red drop off. That red color there, you see that's the tornado warning for Cleveland McLean. You'll see that red drop off here in about a minute or two. But there's just nothing down at low levels on that hook. Aloft, it's got a nice area rotation that's slow rotation, but down at the surface, there's just nothing there. Let's take a look at a live picture from Purcell. We have a storm tracker in Purcell, and you can sure see it right there, looking off to the north and northwest. See the feeder bands coming into it, feeder band here coming into it right there. So here's the wall cloud. Notice how it's just kind of a flat base, nothing really hanging down very much, a little bit of a lowering right there, but that looks like a not real active, you know, spin-wise wall cloud. Aloft it looks pretty good, but down low there's just not much there. Pretty good sized base, but otherwise not a lot of motion in that base. So let's go back to the storm scanner. If you're just joining us this afternoon, we're under a tornado watch until 10 o'clock tonight. Storms have fired to the north of the metro. Storms have fired to the south of the metro. And we've had a hopscotch tornado over here in Payne County. Might still be kind of hopscotching along near Oilton right now. That's just on the fringe of our viewing area, about to move out. And that's the only tornado warning we have right now. The one down south, the tornado warning has been allowed to expire, and that's going to be south of Norman. So I would say the possibility of some pretty large hail, bigger than golf ball, on I-35 down by Noble and north side of Purcell. So, going down I-35 wouldn't be a real good idea for large hail. And there's some big hail here. These are all hailers here from Chickasha all the way down to Rush Springs, up and down Highway 81. And some of that hail is coming up the Bailey Turnpike. Let's go back to Mark Dillard to get another update here on this cell down by Goldsby. It is trying to lift maybe a little bit further to the north, but Mark, again, no real changes here.
Mike, well, really, the base of the cloud, the wall cloud is basically gone now. I'm still driving to the east here. I'm going to get spun around. Give me just 1 second. I'll get a better shot for you. But the cloud base is where we look for the most rotation. And right now, we do not have any at all per se that would make me concerned for an imminent tornadic situation. If Kevin's going to pan over here, hopefully the delay in the video is going to catch up. But there's still rotation. Don't get me wrong. It's just not rapid rotation. It's not violent rotation where it would be lifting things up off the ground. And the wall cloud may be trying to cycle back together here, Mike. It's beginning to firm up on the north side here, and the scud is beginning to lift again. But as far as a truly concerning situation, I'd put it on about a 2 out of 10 scale. Back to you.
Mark, appreciate that. So you see, you got a low base here, but really nothing hanging down and nothing really rotating out of it. Let's go to the storm tracker. Where is this? This is down south of Norman. It's this one right here. Notice the red is gone. That's the tornado warning. Back to orange. That is a severe thunderstorm warning. Some hail here coming up the Bailey between Chickasha and Bridge Creek. This is probably quarters here. Could be small golf balls. Pretty good reflectivity there, but quarters. Grady County severe thunderstorm warning in effect, and this is a hailer down here. This is a supercell. There is a little bit of mid-level rotation west of Rush Springs right now, so we have to watch that one very carefully, but that rotation is up in the middle levels of the cloud, not down low. And so that has some good size hail with it. I'd say larger than golf ball here. That's southbound out of Ninnekah and 81 through Rush Springs currently. Let's go to the storm scanner, take a little overview here. And you see the storms down southwest. Storms firing on the dry line down by Lawton. Supercell, but weakening rotation, at least for right now, west of Purcell. And a weakening storm currently northwest of Guthrie. And severe storms here in Payne County, with still possible tornadoes near Oilton right now. Speaking of Oilton, Emily Sutton's been tracking that storm. She's in the North Metro right now. Emily, tell us what you have.
Mike, can you turn this down? Mike, we are heading into Crescent right now, and I will agree with what Chase was saying earlier. Even though the storm isn't severe, the atmosphere is bubbling up. And I was talking about earlier this morning, if we get some sunshine today, which we're seeing right now, we still have instability in place. We're driving into the town of Crescent, and we're kind of on this storm. That's not severe, but I wonder, and you could talk about this, Mike, but, there's several outflow boundaries, and there's a little boundary north of here. I'm wondering as if this storm approaches, it could actually start rotating and getting it back together. We're watching it very closely. Not severe at this time, but unlike yesterday where we had the first line of storms and then those storms kind of killed it for the next storms behind it, this time around we have the sun still in place. We still have plenty of daylight, and I know some of the models are indicating new storms going up later on in the day. So the potential is still there for more severe weather, but at this time, this storm is not severe. Mike?
Emily, tell me your opinion. We're looking at your live stream right now. We see a lot of what we call towering cumulus clouds that look like they're reasonably unstable. For this exact moment in time, tell me your opinion of the atmosphere right now over Oklahoma City. What do you think?
My opinion on the atmosphere is that there's still definitely instability, and the fact that we still have the sun out means that it's going to get warmer, and that's only going to increase the instability, and I call it storm food, basically, but the convective available potential energy, and that's really increasing it. And so I think that we could still see some storm development along the dry lines. It's just going to really depend on where, since we have all these leftover boundaries from yesterday.
Okay. Emily, appreciate that very much, very much. Emily Sutton along with Chase Thomason right here in the Metro. Let's go to our live picture from Purcell. This is a really excellent shot at this wall cloud right here. And you see it's still a low base.